You are sitting in a corporate cubicle in Dubai, Riyadh, or Bangalore, trading the best cognitive years of your life for a fixed monthly salary? You are watching a global inflation completely outpace your annual 3% raise. You are waiting for a promotion that is currently blocked by a layer of middle management that refuses to leave. You are trapped in a salary delusion. The belief that working hard for a single employer will eventually yield financial freedom? It will not. Before we break down the exact mathematical framework to escape this trap and build a high-ticket side hustle, hit the subscribe button and press the notification bell. I post daily videos showing you exactly how to navigate the global market using cold, hard engineering logic. You do not want to miss these blueprints. While traditional corporate pay scales are flattening in 2026, a massive $30 billion independent consulting market is exploding across the Gulf. Companies do not want to hire expensive full-time executives anymore. They want agile, surgical expert who can solve $1 million problem and leave. Today, we are completely redesigning your career architecture. I'm going to show you how to decouple your specialized knowledge from hourly labor. I am going to give you exact blueprint to produce your corporate expertise, secure premium retainers in the Middle East, and build a high-ticket solo consultancy while you are still working your 9 to 5. Grab a notebook. It is time to stop operating as an underpaid employee and start operating as an elite advisory enterprise. Welcome back. I'm Dr. HR. To understand why my approach to the global market is aggressively different from a generic freelance advice you see online, you must understand my underlying architecture. I hold a PhD in Human Resources, a Master's in HR from prestigious Tata Institute of Social Sciences TISS in Mumbai, and a Bachelor's in Computer Engineering. I do not look at career transition as an emotional journey of following your passion. I look at them as a mathematical equations of supply, demand, and structural leverage. Operating on the ground here in Dubai since 2010, consulting for apex corporate entities across the Middle East, I know exactly how institutional algorithms calculate value and exactly how much they are willing to pay to solve their operational bleeding. You already possess the knowledge required to charge $10,000 a month. You simply lack the packaging and the distribution system. Let us break down the exact 5-phase protocol to extract your knowledge and sell it in an absolute premium. Phase 1. The salary trap versus the advisory gold rush. We must first diagnose the macroeconomics reality of 2026. The traditional corporate pyramid is collapsing. Because of the rapid integration of the enterprise AI, the floor of the routine administrative work is automated. The middle layer of the management is stagnating. If you are a full-time employee, your salary is capped because your employer is pricing your time, not your impact. However, parallel to this stagnation is advisory gold rush. Across the GCC, driven by the Saudi Arabia's vision of 2030 and Dubai's D33 economic agenda, trillions of dollars are being poured into regional giga-projects, digital transformation, and rapid infrastructural scaling. These organizations are moving too fast to spend 6 months recruiting, boarding, and training full-time executives. They are desperate for agile, external expert who can drop into a chaotic system, fix a highly specific operational bottleneck, and exit. This is where you extract the expert premium. The expert premium is a financial delta you capture when you decouple your specialized knowledge from hourly labor. When you are an employee, you are paid for 40 hours of presence. When you are in a high-ticket consultant, you are paid $25,000 because you identified a localized supply chain failure that was costing the company $2 million a quarter. You must completely eradicate the employee mindset. You are no longer selling your time, you are selling a financial transformation. Phase 2. Mapping your high-value niche. You cannot enter the consulting market as a generalist, a general HR consultant, or a general IT advisor. That is a commodity. Commodities compete on prices, which is a race to the bottom. You must map a highly specific, high-value niche. To do this, you must look at the immediate regulatory and operational shift happening right now in the UAE and Saudi Arabia. The regulatory arbitrage. In 2026, the Gulf is undergoing a massive compliance restructuring. UAE has implemented stringent corporate tax laws and aggressive MA quotas. Saudi Arabia is enforcing the Saudiization and a complex localized data sovereignty laws. Multinational corporations are bleeding capital trying to understand these rules. If you are an HR manager who has successfully navigated amortization, compliance, or an IT engineer who has successfully migrated cloud data to comply with Saudi data sovereignty laws, you are holding a golden ticket. Audit your internal corporate history over the last 3 years. What was the most painful, expensive, chaotic problem your department faced? What problems kept your CEO awake at the night? Do you build a system to solve it? Did you build a system to solve it? That solved problem is your product. Companies are currently willing to pay an absolute premium to bypass the pain of figuring it out themselves. The micro offer. You must transition from a broad job title to a surgical micro offer. Do not say, I'm an HR consultant. Say, I architect automated amortization compliance pipeline for a mid-cap tech firms, eliminating government fines and unlocking Tier 1 government contract tiers. You solve one high-stake business pain point for one specific type of enterprise. That is how you command a premium. Phase 3. Productizing expertise into premium retainers. The greatest mistake aspiring consultants make is adopting a freelance mindset. A freelancer waits for a client to tell them what to do and then charges them $50 an hour to do it. An elite consultant dictates the architecture. You must structure your knowledge into a standardized, repeatable advisory framework. You must productize yourself. The 3-tier pricing model. Never send a proposal with a single price. You must present a 3-tiered psychological pricing architecture that shifts the conversation from time spent to ROI generated. 1. Tier 1. The diagnostic audit. The entry point, say $3,000. You do not fix the problem yet. You spend 1 week auditing their system, interviewing their staff, and deliver a ruthless, high-level diagnostic report exposing exactly where they are losing money. Tier 2. The implementation sprint. The core offer of $15,000. You deploy your proprietary framework to actually fix the broken system. You map the workflow, integrate the software, and train the leadership team. This is a 45-day sprint. Tier 3. The advisory retainer. The recurring revenue, $5,000 per month. Once a system is built, retain you for 2 hours a week to ensure the system does not degrade. You are on a standby for a high-level strategic course correction. The digital authority footprint. To sell a $15,000 package, you cannot look like a desperate employee. You must establish a digital authority footprint. Your LinkedIn profile must stop reading like a resume. Delete the bullet point about your daily task. Rewrite your profile as a high-converting landing page. Publish case studies, structural teardowns of industry failures, and data-driven insights. When a CEO looks at your profile, they must perceive you as a definitive subject matter expert before the first discovery call ever happens. Phase 4. Strategic business development in the Middle East. Having a brilliant productized service is useless if you do not know how to infiltrate the geographic power centers. The Middle East operate on a deeply nuanced relationship-based procurement model. If you try to submit your consulting proposal through a company's vendor registration portal or to a junior procurement officer, you will die in administrative. You must bypass the gatekeeper and reach the C-suite decision makers, leveraging local presence. In 2026, proximity is power. You must utilize the local presence requirement to network within high-growth free zones. Spend your mornings at an artisanal cafe in Dubai International Finance Center at AIFC or the Kings Abdullah Financial District KAFD in Riyadh. You must physically intersect with the executives who hold the P&L authority, the Trojan horse pitch. When you identify a target company, you do not send a message asking for a quick chat. You use value-based outreach. You research their company, identify a glaring structural flaw, perhaps a failing localized marketing campaign or a broken compliance node, and you build a free customized tear-down document. The execution. I noticed your recent expansion into Riyadh based on public data. Your current logistic routing is likely exposing to your 15% tariff inefficiency under the new regulation. I am a supply chain architect. I built a 3-page structural teardown showing exactly how to reroute the nodes to recover that margin. Let me know if you want me to send a PDF. You do not sell your time. You provide undeniable asymmetric value upfront. This secures the pilot project. The pilot project serves as an undeniable social proof required to lock in the multi-month high-ticket retainer. Phase 5. Scaling the solo consultancy for long-term freedom. Building a high-ticket side hustle while maintaining your 9-to-5 corporate job requires extreme, ruthless efficiency. You cannot manually hunt for the leads while sitting in your employer's meeting. You must deploy automated system, the automated engine. Use LinkedIn Sales Navigator combined with automation tool like Zapier to build a passive lead generation engine. Write highly technical problem-solving content on weekend, schedule it to post daily, and use automated funnels to drive inbound traffic to a calendar booking link. Your goal is to have a highly qualified discovery calls booked for your evenings and weekend without manual intervention. The diversified portfolio. Never rely on a single anchor client. If one consulting client provides 80% of your side hustle revenue, you are not a consultant, you are an employee with a terrible contract. You must build a diversified portfolio of regional clients to spread your risk and maintain absolute leverage in your negotiation. The exit trigger. The ultimate question is, when do you quit your job? Amateur quit their 9-to-5 moment, they sign their $5,000 consulting client. This is the financial suicide. You must mathematically define your exit trigger. You do not quit when your consulting revenue matches your corporate salary. You quit when your consulting profit can comfortably cover your absolute baseline living expense for 6 consecutive months, and you have a predictable, automated pipeline of inbound leads. For most professionals, the exit trigger is when your side hustle consistently generates 150% of your corporate salary for 3 consecutive quarters. When you hit that mathematical threshold, you're no longer taking a risk. You are executing a calculated, structural transition into a total professional independence. Look closely at the mechanics of the market. The corporate salary is sedative. It is designed to be just high enough to keep you compliant, but just low enough to ensure you never achieve true structural freedom. As long as you are trading hours for a paycheck, you are a commodity. But the moment you extract your highly specialized knowledge, package it into a productized solution, and deploy it to solve a $1 million problem for a desperate organization, you become an apex enterprise of one. The Gulf market is starving for elite surgical expertise. The capital is flowing, the giga-projects are scaling, and the traditional corporate structures are failing to keep up. Stop asking your boss for a 4% raise. Stop waiting for a promotion that will only give you more administrative headache. Map your niche, your expertise, architect your inbound pipeline, and forcefully claim the expert premium. Process the data, execute the strategy, and I'll see you at the